They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that.
For real.
She is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. No do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they on wild down in Soho. One's black and the other was Mexican. Like a polio. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. Finna got in the gently. Ain't been friends with these when I was down out of soul. But that's how I go when you go. Now like no like
figure it out.
Clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone.
I wasn't trying to.
Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walk around with my hand on my cause I'm popping and I know you're not. I know you see just how I'm living.
You should know how to make it happen yourself.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. Oh, twisting away. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Blue. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The Bears and Bucs, you might recall, met in Tampa Week 2 of last year, which was actually the first game for the Buccaneers after Hurricane Irma washed out their opener with Miami. And it was the Bucs who beat Mike Glennon in that game 26-9.
Blue. Here we go.
On second down, here's Trubisky. He sets to fire deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
You like that one?
Check.
Yeah.
Fresno. Hurry. Run.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Let's go. Hey, gotta go. Hey, 18. On your head. 58.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go play action with Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. He's still barreling through. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
12 more yards there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, Mike, 58, right there.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. And there's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
On second down, Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
You got me fucking up. I'm about to lose.
Hey, move.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
You want to see again?
Yep.
Hurry. Lock in. Red up.
You want to see?
Come on, wait. Yeah, let me see.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Steps away, and that is incomplete here. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. On 3rd down, Winston. Right side caught by Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Let's go. It's time to play. Check 15. Check 15.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, and they've got it here with a first down.
Ready? Black 25. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
We're go. Let's go. Red, up. 58, boy, 58, Mike.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Red's up. 18. Red's up. Red's up.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Barton. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And an early sack there for Tampa Bay. Charles, that is a welcome sight.
A sight for sore eyes, you might say, right? Just 22 sacks on the season in 2017. And what they're hoping, that some of their one-on-one guys can get home this year instead of having to scheme to try and get sacks.
And those 22 sacks last in the league a year ago. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If indeed the Chicago Bears were looking for a nice change-up to Jordan Howard at running back, they found it in Tariq Cohen. I'm telling you, this guy is shifty, quick, even though he's small in stature. Some people have called him the latest human joystick.
How about that? That'll be fun for Madden players. Just 5'6", but as you said, he can move. Trubisky will throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Mitch Unrein in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Okay.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Blue, blue. We got 4. We got 4. Red, red's up. 58 to Mike. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist. 20 heads. 58, boys, 58.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Jameis on second down. And he slings one that's incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And it's third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Play action now. Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Taken in at the 22. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep for the Bucs, Deshaun Jackson. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final play of the half here, Winston. He'll rifle this one deep, looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And that'll be incomplete. Charles Sims, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, it's Sims, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Hurry, hurry! Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Hey, 18. Red's up. I'm scared. Alert 3.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Lock in. Alert. Take 4. What do you
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We got 3 down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day, get the blocker away, and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Red, up.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long, going up top. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on?
Hurry!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Hurry!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down. It's Cohen, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Parkey's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what it is.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Bucks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
Hey, 4 down. Ready, follow. Mike 5'9".
They go play action. Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line.
Blue. Up, 180. Mike, 58, right there. Red, up. Coming to you. Check the backer.
Again, it's Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. The Bears on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set up, 180.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Let's go, let's convert. I got tripped this side.
2nd down, Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Looking downfield for Godwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And now Winston wants to talk this one over as they'll take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Onto the field now come the Bears. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Noah Spence in on the stop.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, 88 yards, and the Bears will add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Let's go. Stay in there. Play. We got it.
Jameis to throw it. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Jameis now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Sims trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the postmortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. It was Mitch Unrein that made the tackle. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Come on, gotta go. Lock in.
They go with Howard again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
18.
This time, Trubisky will throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Mitch Unrein in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Here's Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Off the play fake, Winston. He's got Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 18 yards there and a 1st down.